I used to think betrayal carried a scent, something sour that lingered beneath sweetness. I was right. The day she left for what she called a girl's trip, she kissed me lightly at the door, lipstick still fresh on her lips, suitcase rolling behind her. She promised she'd call when she arrived. She never did. That was the first whiff. The second hit me harder. Our joint account flagged a charge for a 5-star hotel, but not in the city she said she was visiting. That's when the pit in my chest cracked open, but instead of falling apart, my mind sharpened like glass. We had been together for 8 years. 8 years of building, compromising, forgiving the little storms that passed between us. I thought I knew her. I thought standing by her side through sleepless nights, panic attacks, deadlines, and pressure meant something. I thought being the ground she stood on as she climbed would be enough. But instead, she gave me silence, secrets, and betrayal so poisonous it burned through every memory we had made. Looking back, the signs were obvious. The late-night messages she tilted her phone to hide. The sudden obsession with working late. Her boss's name weaving itself into conversations more often than it should. Her voice softening in ways it never did for me. I ignored it all. Love makes you blind, or maybe it just makes you a fool. But love, once soured, becomes something else entirely. It becomes dangerous. The truth didn't come crashing down with drama. No lipstick on my shirt, no whispered confession. Just undeniable data. A hotel booked in her name, with his listed as the second guest. That was all I needed. I didn't explode. I didn't collapse. I let the betrayal cool inside me until it was sharp enough to cut. I became deliberate, cold. A hunter doesn't chase. He waits. I started gathering evidence. Photos of their car parked overnight at hotels, screenshots of texts she thought had vanished but were safely stored in the cloud I controlled, copies of receipts that traced their affair. Slowly, piece by piece, I was building a weapon. At the same time, I began dismantling the safety net she thought she had. I siphoned our savings into an account she didn't know about. I froze the card she used freely. All of it done quietly, legally, leaving her standing on air while thinking she was safe. By the time she was sharing a hotel bed with him, she wasn't my wife anymore. She was my target. Revenge isn't screaming. Revenge is discipline. And I had a plan. I found a way into their world. The hotel's catering contractor was always looking for extra staff. A borrowed name, a uniform, and suddenly I had access to the very floor they thought was private. No one questions room service. You're invisible, welcomed, ignored. The night arrived. She told me she was out with the girls. I was in the hotel, pushing a service cart down carpeted halls, my pulse steady, my face calm. Every step was measured, each one drawing me closer to room 614. I knocked gently. Room service. His voice came muffled from inside, telling me to come in. The door opened, and there they were. She stood in a robe, hair damp from a shower, skin still pink from steam. He was half-dressed, smirking like a thief proud of his prize. When she saw me, the color drained from her face, her mouth opening but only a broken gasp escaping. My name caught in her throat. He frowned, confused at first, then smirked again as if it were a joke. He had no idea. I said nothing. I wheeled the cart in, set the tray down, and lifted the silver lid. Not food. Not wine. Proof. Photos, documents, charges, messages stacked like ammunition. This, I said, my voice even, is everything. Every lie. Every night you thought I didn't know. I looked at her, then at him. My calmness unsettled them more than rage could have. She stammered, desperate excuses spilling out. Something about stress, about mistakes, about it meaning nothing. I stopped her with one hand raised. You already said enough the day you checked in here. Then I turned to him. I sent a copy of all this to your wife 2 hours ago. The smirk slid right off his face. He opened his mouth, but no words came. I leaned back slightly. And to HR, I added, since your company doesn't take kindly to executives sleeping with subordinates. The board has a meeting tomorrow. I'm sure they'll enjoy the read. Panic replaced arrogance in his eyes. He reached for her hand. She pulled away. Even rats know when to abandon a sinking ship. The silence was suffocating. I let it stretch, heavy and unbroken. I wanted her to feel it pressing into her chest, the weight of everything she'd destroyed. Finally, I leaned close enough that only she could hear me. You threw away 8 years for a man who won't even hold your hand when it matters. Her eyes filled with tears, but I felt nothing. I walked out, leaving them in the ruins of their choices. I didn't slam the door. The soft click was enough, it sounded final. By the time she returned home, she didn't live there anymore. The locks were changed. Her clothes neatly boxed at her sister's. The accounts were shut down. Our circle knew. Her family knew. The perfect image she worked so hard to maintain was gone, shredded beyond repair. As for him, the news spread quickly. His marriage ended the same week his career did. The empire he built on arrogance collapsed overnight. People ask me if revenge feels good. It doesn't. It feels necessary. Like burning flesh to stop an infection. Painful, but clean. Do I miss her? No. I miss the illusion, the woman I believed she was. But she ceased to exist in room 614. The moment that door opened, I rose from the ashes. She, on the other hand, has to live every day with the memory of me standing there, tray in hand, tearing the mask from her carefully crafted lie. That wasn't just revenge. That was justice.